Where were we? So, I forgot a huge part of the story. I've never really told you guys anything about myself or how I got started. So I wanted to take the time mainly because you guys asked for it. This comment really inspired me to make this video. I got my first guitar when I was 6 or 7. And my dad used to own musical instrument stores in upstate New York. I grew up in Webster, New York, which is a kind of a suburb next to Rochester, New York. He sold the stores when I was only 2 years old though. But there were still instruments coming in and out. He sold a lot of stuff on eBay, stuff like that. He had a lot of musical friends still. And I can remember I saw this really beat up old acoustic guitar. It was nothing special. I just leaned up in the wall and I stared at it for hours. It was amazing to me. And I didn't even touch it. You know, I didn't know if I was allowed to touch it. So the very next day, my father being super supportive of my musical aspirations, he brought home a little, I guess it would be like a 3/4 sized Fender Squier Stratocaster. And the very next day, I was at the end of the driveway with my little treasure chest open that I put all my Tooth Fairy money into. I was just strumming the guitar like this. And I didn't know how to play anything. Not anything. It sounded terrible, right? And my dad comes driving, and I had a sign that said guitar, $10. I wasn't cheap, you know? My dad was driving down the street and he sees this kid, you know, trying to live his dream. And he's thinking, geez, I gotta break it to this little kid. He says, man, you know, that's so cool that you're doing that, but it's really hard to make a living in music. It's really difficult. And I cut him off and I'm like 6 or 7 years old. I said, Dad, I made almost $5 today. And the next big moment, I started taking lessons. I hated it. I hated taking lessons. So the next defining moment in my musical journey would have been watching the movie Crossroads. I had one guitar teacher for 5 years, and he recommended that I watch it. You know, and there's some I think explicit scenes in there. So he's like, you gotta watch it with your dad. And I remember at the end of the movie, that guitar battle changed everything for me. I wanted to be that. I wanted to do everything I could. So I started practicing 8 hours a day. I started listening to everyone else. I felt so out of touch, man, so out of touch with everyone else my age. Everyone was listening to rap and hip hop and pop, and I was listening to 80s rock. I was listening to guitar virtuosos. I started going to open jams 2 times a week, sometimes 3. And we would go everywhere. I would be a regular at these places, playing with people 3-4 times my age. So I had no choice but to get better. My first job was at a gymnastics facility. Believe it or not, I have my 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. Then I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, actually, and I kept stealing all of the munchkins, the pumpkin spice little donut hole things. I felt like I was wasting my time. I would go home and just practice and practice, and I wanted to make that my life, my full-time gig. So I started playing in bands. I started my own band. I was really, really excited because I was spending all of my time. I wasn't making much money. I really wasn't making much money at all. There were a few places where I was from that would book me for the entire year because I had always been going there since I was a kid, and they believed in me. I met so many great souls along the way. By the time I graduated from high school, I started thinking about how am I gonna make this happen for myself. So I started recording these videos and started posting them on TikTok. And they started doing well, and to my surprise. So I started doing it more and more and more. And during all of this, I was in college. And it was so exciting to go to school. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't think I needed college. I needed college, dude. I needed it. I thought I knew so much, and I was immediately humbled and studied with incredible teachers. I was playing all types of different music, classical, jazz, fusion, all of writing classical music. It was one of the most expansive times in my life, mentally and musically. That part of my life, I'm still working on this every day, but that part of my life turned me from a guitar player into a musician. And I'm so grateful to all my teachers and instructors. I ended up getting 2 degrees, one in music performance, music theory and performance, and then another one in music business. I didn't get to walk because of COVID. I think they did a ceremony and I probably missed it, which sucks, but maybe someday. Anyway, while all of this was going on, I was playing with whoever I could. I was making tons and tons of videos and posting them online, trying to find a way to like break, you know, get my head above the clouds, so to speak.
Totally forgot to mention that I worked as a contractor for like a whole year. I did roofing, floors, bathrooms, drywall. I built decks. I've sided so many houses. I'm super glad I had that experience.
I'm starting to do this social media thing more full-time. I've been very, very fortunate to have worked with a ton of great companies. Samsung, Paramount Pictures, Givenchy, just to name a few. So that brings us to now. I never thought I would be here. Like, I have an incredible little studio space and an incredible support system from so many angles. For all the young musicians out there that are trying to like make a career out of music, don't ever forget why you started. No matter what your passion is, if you like drawing or graphic design or whatever it is, if it's a passion, please like find a way to like allocate time to it to just be a passion. Like for your mental health, for your spirit, for your soul, for everything. It's so necessary. At least in my situation, really necessary. And I'm super, I'm like eternally grateful for your, not only your views and your comments and sharing, but your time. Time is the one thing that we can't get back, and if you're spending your time listening to things that I've created or that I've been a part of, it is monumentally appreciated. Please like and subscribe. I'd love to hear what you guys want to see on this channel. Put it in the comments. Don't forget to check out my new single, Painkiller. That song was so much fun to make, and I have really enjoyed watching you guys share and create with the song. It's streaming now everywhere. Also, new music is coming out like really soon, and the next song is a rock song, so let's fucking go. I think that's it, man. I think that's it.